with our keynote speaker for the spring convocation of the Journalism and Mass Communication School. Welcome home, man.
Thank you, thank you. I feel wonderful to be here.
How did you get to this point in your career?
Oh, it's a blessing. It really is. I feel blessed because for all the goals that I put out there, coming to San Jose State, I started in Southern California and wanted to come in as a walk-on and earn a football scholarship. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to play Division I football and get a good education. And I said, San Jose State's going to give me the chance to walk on. And the School of Journalism and Mass Communications was ranked, I think, one of the top 10 schools in America for journalism and mass communications. And I said, that's where I want to go. I want to be a part of that school, and I want to be a part of that. And when I came up here to visit, the diversity here, the people here, the feeling, it just felt like home. It felt really good. And so to go through all that and then to leave here and to really go through the trials and tribulations of trying to, as they say, grow and go up the corporate ladder, it's not easy. And I just had this goal in mind to say, you know what, whether I, end up, doing one thing or doing the other, I know somehow, some way I want to love what I'm doing. And being a part of media, being a part of the sales teams and being a part of promotions and being a part of TV stations and radio stations and sports teams, I've been able to do a lot of it in just a short amount of time in over 20 years. I mean, I look back and I say, what am I going to do the next 20 years? But it feels really good, and I think part of that is that you have to have a good support system around you. And to get to that point over these last 20 years to deal with those trials and tribulations, I have some great support, not only from a wonderful wife that I met here at San Jose State.
And Jackie.
And we met when we were here, but then also just to have great parents, great in-laws, great brother and sister, that just a good supportive family that says, Javier, you can do it. You can do whatever you want.
But you've hopped all over the country. You've been in Florida. You've been all over trying to do things with media.
Correct.
It's a challenge, and for a lot of our young people today, they're like, why would you do that?
Someone gave me the advice, and they said, Javier, in this business, sometimes you have to move out to move up. And it's so true. I mean, I've seen people say, they can stay in one city, one town, and that's great. And I've seen people go through the ranks in that regard. For me, it just happened to be that there was different opportunities that I started here. My very first job was working for the San Jose State Athletic Department. I did that for about a good 2-3 years. And then I ended up moving to Florida because the agency that hired me said, we'd like to have you work at Florida State University, the defending national champions for college football. I said, sure, where do I sign up? And and that's what took me cross country to Florida to live for the first time in Tallahassee. We did that for about a year. I was a newly married man with Jackie, and we were just two big city kids, and the small college town was wonderful, football, sports, but we wanted to get back to the big city, and that's what took us down to South Florida.
And you were back in the Bay Area for a short time.
I was back in the Bay Area just for a short amount of time. We had my in-law was sick, and I had moved back just for a short while, but a good 9 years total that we were in Florida.
But climbing that ladder of success, a lot of people are afraid of it. What would you say about it?
You can't be afraid of it. You got to take it as an adventure. It really is something. You're always, like I said before, if you have a good support system, you can do it. But you got to have the goals in mind, and the goals are the fuel. And I said, you know what? I want to rise to the ranks. I want to be a leader. I want to be the person that's in charge of my own property, in charge of my own cluster, in charge of my own sales team, because not just to be the one that's in charge, but the bottom line is I like to help people. And by being in that role of the leader, I get to help not only my staff grow, get better, achieve their dreams, but then I also get to help our clients. I get to help the community. I get to help so many different people in so many different ways. You go home and you just feel really good about yourself because the premise of what I get to do is I get to help others. And that's where it really comes from. And at the end of the day, you get to go home and feel really good about yourself.
Very good.
Yeah.
I have a photo of you standing next to a lady named Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
What was that all about, real quick?
We had worked really hard with our news team to work on all the different folks coming into Vegas. Nevada is a very important political market for this upcoming presidential election, and we were able to get the interview with Hillary Clinton. We're the only TV station in Las Vegas to get that interview, and we had the Secret Service men come in and get everyone in there. We had 7 cars and the police detail, and to have them come in, and they basically said, we'd like for her to meet the general manager and meet the news director, and she needs to do this interview, and it was a way to connect with the Latinos in Southern Nevada in Las Vegas, and it just was wonderful. I mean, no matter who wins this election, at the end of the day, these people are all trying to become the leaders of our country. And I was thrilled that we were able to have someone of her stature who has lived in the White House with Bill Clinton, has been part of world events. It was just a wonderful opportunity to do that and bring her story to our viewers.
At the May 25th Convocation, I'm going to make the point, young, savvy, Latino, businessman extraordinaire.
Oh, wow.
Sounds like a running mate for Hillary Clinton.
No,
maybe,
yeah.
You never know. You never know.
I'm a little more behind the scenes than to be out there, but you never know. As they say, there's so many different opportunities, and you just got to look at everything. And I think it's something that's a very, very important role in our community, is to be that political leader, to be the president of the United States. But I think you have that president of the United States, but who's that support team around that president? Right. That's really what I want to look at and see who's influencing that presidential leader of our country. And because that's so important, myself included, being the general manager, senior vice president, I'm only as good as my supporting cast, my team, and because you can never do it by yourself.
For all those students, though, who hate working on teams in school, and I want my own grade for my own effort, what would you say to them about teamwork?
You know, teamwork is so important. You know, if you're into just getting your own awards and being the solo artist, I'll leave them with this one quote, is that nothing great has ever been put together by one person. Nothing great has ever come about from just one person. The man on the moon, he didn't get there by himself. There's a team. A baseball team, you know, winning the World Series, they don't get there by just the one pitcher. It's a supporting cast of everyone working hard to make sure you get to that World Series. So if you don't believe in teamwork, then you're going to have a really tough time getting into the world of media, which is all about audiences and all about people. And I think you might want to find a different career path, because there are so many different things. When you really break it down, it's not that one person who might be getting the headlines. It's really the supporting cast and that team, and the teamwork is so important to get to where you want to go. And all the accolades I've ever gotten, I let everybody know, I don't get recognized without having a good team and being able to be a good collaborator with that team.
Very good.
Yeah.
Go Giants, go A's, but you know I'm going to invite you to come to Chicago. Because if my Cubs make it, sorry about your Dodgers.
Oh, thank you. Go Dodgers. Hopefully they get there.
Good to have you back.
Thank you. It feels wonderful to be back. Thank you,
Thanks
Bob.
for doing that.
Appreciate
You honored
it.
us today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.